Hey everyone, Dustin here. I'm going to do a quick tutorial on how to conduct a security threat assessment, security audit, security risk assessment, anything along those lines. There's a lot of terminology that you could use. They're all synonymous, and basically what we're going to do real quick is test it out using some graphic processing software, Google Earth, in addition to some geospatial data layers, along with some other content. So I chose, UGA, Sanford Stadium, and what we're going to do real quick is go through a little demo on a sample security threat assessment that I put together. I'm going to try to make this video short, so here we go. Let me locate the file. As you can see here, representation of the geospatial portion that could be created when conducting a security threat assessment of a property. Alright, so here we have UGA. This is the campus right here, and you'll see that I have a few different colors going on. We have red, which designates the area of interest, and then all of the blue areas that you can barely see. Those are all of the most popular parking areas from what I could collect. All of the white icons indicate potential camera locations based upon the threat assessment. And we have two different avenues of approach here. Obviously we could add more, but these are the two typical avenues of approach that students might take coming from downtown to get to the stadium, for football games, things along those lines. So these are the high traffic routes right here. And of course there's a couple other ones on this side, but Google, with my free account, only allows me to add so many spatial layers, so I couldn't add any more. So let's go ahead and take a brief tour real quick of some of the things that we can add into this. So of course we have our stadium. We can go ahead and zoom in on our camera locations, and you'll see that I have black icons here that designate the angle of the cameras. And so if we click on that, we can actually see the angle where the camera will be facing. I utilized Google Street View to create this, so I imported those photos. So this would be the actual angle that the camera would be looking down and orienting itself on that particular avenue of approach. So you have the orientation, and we also have the image of what that camera might be viewing. So let's tilt it here, and we'll view this other camera angle. And we can also, this is a pretty cool feature too. We can hop in and go straight to our street view. We can bounce around a little bit and really see what it looks like in terms of, what the ground level view may look like. So we'll exit street view. And of course I've saved an image here for what that angle looks like. A lot of UGA stuff going on here. So that's that feature. And I did that for all of these angles, all of these cameras. So if we zoom into these camera angles, you'll be able to see what those angles look like as well. Let's go ahead and view this angle right here, which we've created, and that's what your angle for that camera screenshot would look like. Okay, so now we've got all the camera screenshots in there. Let's go ahead and zoom back out, and let's take a look at those avenues of approach. So in particular, now you can really see right here that you can get a good baseline established in terms of whatever property you're conducting your security threat assessment for. So a lot of really cool features. Everything is three-dimensional. Another thing that I would like to add is that for particular avenues of approach, if we click on them, let's go ahead and zoom in a little bit more. If we right-click the avenue of approach, we can click to show an elevation profile. So that elevation profile is going to allow us to see, following the red line, what the gradient looks like in terms of elevation. So here, it's not too much of a decline, even though it looks like it is an elevation. We're just measuring in feet here. So overall about 100 give or take foot decrease in elevation before we continue to go back up the hill towards the stadium. So that's a cool feature that we can integrate into this security threat assessment. The cool thing is that we're going to actually create or take a video tour of each of those avenues of approach. So I'm going to locate those avenues of approach, and we're going to take a tour of each one. Alright, so for the first avenue of approach here, actually this is the second one. Let's go ahead and pause that. We're going to go to the other one. Alright, so here we go. It's going to take us all the way to the beginning, in which it's located downtown. And we're going to take a walk and what that particular area may look like on the way over to the stadium. And you can see the change in elevation a little bit. Obviously the buildings could be a little bit better in terms of three-dimensional capability. Alright, now let's go back and take a look at that second avenue of approach. And there we have it. Now, obviously these are very short avenues of approach. So taking that video tour may not be too big of a benefit, but if you're dealing with a large area, then it definitely would be. Now, another thing that I integrated into the map here is for the particular parking areas, I've created snapshots of the imagery of what those parking areas would look like. And obviously we don't really need that here since we can just zoom in on the parking areas, but I thought that that'd be a decent added feature. So there's that. That's pretty much everything in a nutshell in terms of this security threat assessment. Another thing that we can add is the actual spatial data layers for things such as crime analysis by county. So if we really wanted to take a look and see what the crime levels looked like here, we can add spatial data layers in as KML files, which is what I've done. And we're going to take a look at that real quick. So I'm going to add that layer in. And we instantly get the legend here of different crime levels, and we can see that the crime level here is, between 1483 and 2966 annually. Now, if we zoom out, you'll start to see that the crime should change per county. So we see that and this over here is all the stuff from a different thing that I was doing for the Appalachian Trail, but we do see that in here, this area has a higher level of crime activity. And of course, we have DeKalb County, and the crime over there is significantly larger than what it would be in Athens. And we can get the crime statistics per county if we wanted to. So that's that feature. Of course, if we wanted to, we could even add more layers in there, but I made it very simple. And finally, we can add things such as the weather patterns. I'm going to zoom out. We'll be able to see particular areas, and we can see that right now this is up to date. Here in Athens, looks like we've got fair weather. That's not Athens. This is Athens. Okay. So we've got our weather patterns in here. And this is all up to roughly 68 degrees Fahrenheit. No significant storms rolling in. Pretty decent overcast. So there you have it. Basic tutorial on how I would conduct a threat assessment for properties. And being able to utilize this software definitely helps in terms of establishing that baseline. Alright, well, thanks for watching. And have a great day. Go Dogs.